They've stopped making noises when you switch them on, and that one is terrifying because there's no indication that it's recording.
I'll have a phone.
You can put it. I have to open the battery, the SD cover to see that it's writing something.
Really?
Yeah. So if you open the SD cover, you can see it'll be flashing red if it's writing.
Oh yeah, that's no good. Right, I'll have a look at these. I think what it'll be is
it'll be something.
The HDMI connection. It'll be ripping something away from it. Yeah. Sorry, that is a bit anxiety-inducing, isn't it? However, I can safely say that at least for now, they're in record.
Record.
We are?
Record.
That one's also in record.
Record.
The X-Pre's in.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, cool. All right.
Okay. We're back again. I'm going to do a little bit of a round table in our oval table. That's where all our microphone stands are. Okay.
Christian, with the amount of people we've got around the table, to get everyone in the shot with that portion is going to be in the frame. Is that right? It won't be one sort of one.
So we wanted to create a band with a French horn, bass clarinet, drums, quartet strings, piano, stand-up bass. Basically, the only thing we don't have that we can kind of mock up is the clarinet. So Alan is coming in with the clarinet.
Okay.
I want to make this so it's like 20 megabytes. It looks even better on this camera. You're just like a little dot in the distance. Yeah. It's nuts to think that the echo in that room was worse than this room. Yeah. And just by putting a few bits in.
I think once furniture and stuff is in here, it's going to
be fine.
Different, but it's a bit...
And some acousticy.
Yeah, exactly.
And then a short note. Okay, so how are we looking? Might just be more on Amelia.
I was going to say. So either more on Amelia or
Amelia and Ivor, yeah. It looks quite soft as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be just good to get that door out of the way. Yeah, that's nice, yeah. Nothing interrupts our live workshops. Yeah. So basically anyone can use it. Yeah, great. I'm going to jump straight into it. If you've not watched the podcast for a while or the workshop, there's a link in the video description down below where you can join us for a chat soon. But what we need to do is get right into the business end of this workshop because we're launching our most ambitious challenge yet. We did it. First successful workshop in the place. Alan, killed it. Well done.
Well done.
And I got a thumbs up from Simon as well. I covered the rules for once.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah, 2 thumbs up. Brilliant. Has anyone got time for a quick bite to eat?
Yeah.
Great, thanks.
She's from the taxi for us.
Perfect. This is the bit of moving I don't like is the in-betweeny bit, the bit where you're neither hither nor nither or yonder tither. You spend your time going between the two places, grabbing stuff that you've forgotten and need in the other place. How are we smelling today? Still a bit damp. No sample collection is complete without a kalimba. Now, we have more of these than you could possibly ever want on Piano Book, but I want to sample them my way. So we'll have a kind of solo kalimba and then this thing tracked left and right. And I've got to somehow work out how we're going to match the pitches, because don't need the chicken today, and squeaks box. It's got a skin, so it really resonates, whereas this is wooden, doesn't. But also, I don't know, maybe, ooh, what if we were to, that sounds better. Have you bought yourself a Crunchy so you can celebrate finishing this session? Yeah. And it's a Friday.
So that's the lowest. That was the lowest note from the clarinet.
Okay.
So do you want me to give you that note as well?
Let's hear that note. Let's take it as an option because it's a bit clearer, isn't it?
It's because it's like, if you think about it, on a B flat clarinet, it's your lowest note.
Yeah.
So it's all of the pipe, or it's all of the actual instrument.
Yeah.
And it sounds quite honky.
Okay.
Whereas that one's like, it's up there, so you've got all that to get through.
Right. And what's the lowest note on? So is there different low notes on bass clarinet?
So it's two different bass clarinets. You get ones that will go to like a low in transposed pitch. Ones that are like low E flat, so they'll come to about here.
Okay.
And this one is like an orchestral bass clarinet, so it's a low C.
Okay.
So the lowest note on most, or some bass clarinets is.
Okay.
The lowest note on this one is.
And it's I don't suppose you could do some of that staccato stuff where you can really hear the change in timbre.
So if you think about music for 18,
Yeah.
that's the start. Like I think it's the pulses section in
Yeah.
for 18.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And a lot of people think that's a synth, don't they?
do, and they think, but it's also, if you watch it being played live, it's the clarinetist, one of the clarinetists that cues the
It's to do with their lung capacity, isn't it?
for the phasing part anyway, because it's that. I mean, it's tough going,
Yeah.
but it's a lovely, and it's a really, really lovely instrument.
I'll show you what I made with one.
Yeah, that's great. Actually, a good friend of mine is a really big fan of these one-time use cameras. Like, when we're on any kind of holiday, he buys 2 or 3 of them.
I'm gonna start by going. I'm Christian Henson. I guess my day job is I'm a film and TV composer. I also am really into sound and making sounds. I'm 54 years old and I've been working professionally as a musician of some sort or another for about 30 years.
Nice. I'm Bogumil, or Bogu, and I played piano for a long time. I still play piano. And I studied sound and music production, and now I do some sound design and scripting for Crow Hill. That's what I do.
You allowed to say how old you are?
Oh yeah, true. 32. 32, yeah.
Okay.
I'm Amelia and I'm 30. And I also play an instrument that is violin, but now I'm working on piano book right now.
Great.
I'm David, I'm 32. I'm a musician and music producer, and also do some customer support stuff with Crow Hill and some development things with the samples.
I don't know if you can hear, but they all resonate when you do one. There's all the notes around it kind of resonate. What I'm going to do is sample them like this. You get a cleaner sound. Then what I'm going to do is work out how to do like a damped. Cut off the tap, but that's the noise we want. This can be a resonance layer that we add in with the sustain pedal. So this is a soprano sax,
It's
yeah?
a soprano sax. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just like what's his name, the Starbucks guy, Kenny G.
Yeah, absolutely. Like bass saxophone.
Bass saxophone, which I thought they were a kind of a new aberration. Is not abomination, is the wrong word. Aberration that I thought was like a kind of let's go crazy end of the 20th century. But you were telling me otherwise.
They were quite popular. Like I think maybe like 1920s, 1930s.
Right.
The part like everybody thinks the saxophone family is like 4 instruments.
Yeah.
But when it came out, I think there was like 14 of them.
Okay, so what are the current kind of 4?
Current 4 are soprano, alto, tenor, and baritone.
Okay.
Those are the ones that you would expect. You'll see them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
There's one that's slightly higher called the sopranino, so higher than soprano, and then the bass is lower than the baritone. It's 1 octave lower than the tenor.
Okay.
But it's lower than the baritone.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And you do get a bigger one, don't you?
you get like contrabass saxophones.
Of which I think there's one in the country.
They're usually, these things are kind of owned by orchestras. It's like
Yeah.
it's like Stradivarius violins. They're so expensive
Yeah.
that a lot of times it's an orchestra that owns it and lends it out, or it's a private owner.
But I don't see many bass saxes.
They're rare. I mean, they used to. The thing about them is that there's companies now that are making them relatively affordable.
Yeah.
The thing was, before this, it was either buy a vintage one or Selmer were the only company that still made bass saxophones, which cost, I think it was like £25,000.
Right.
So you get a decent car for that.
Yeah.
Whereas there's a lot of kind of Chinese manufacturers now that are making really nice. I mean, it used to be that cheaper saxophones, particularly from the Chinese market, used to be terrible, just mass produced kind of thing. Now they're really, really nice. This plays great. I mean, it's a lovely instrument. You can see that I've not got it around my neck and I'm sitting down because it weighs an absolute ton.
Yeah. It's all metal.
It's
woodwind, but it's metal.
yeah, and it is again. It's the little reeds at the end
That makes it woodwind.
Makes it woodwind. You know, but it weighs.
Go underneath it. That's the wood bit.
And without it, doesn't make a sound.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'd love to stick it on a set of scales and see how much
Yeah.
it weighs, because but it's also really simple. It's like, you can play it quite nicely. Oh, now I'll mess up. So quite a lovely kind of like almost cello kind of quality to it.
Yeah.
And then also it's just.
And there's something you get from reeds in particular. You get and this microphone probably won't pick it up, but you actually get subtones, don't you?
Yeah.
So you get tones beneath the fundamental.
Yeah, which it makes it such a because there's so much instrument here that's kind of resonating as well. It's so good, and it's great to kind of overblow it, so you would get.
And what's the lowest note?
Lowest note.
And what's that? Does that sound? Can you do that softly? No. Great.
It's a lovely. I mean, it's so much fun. It's It's one of these ones where I haven't been able to play it much to practice it because my neighbours would kill me.
But the saxophones, it's really bloody loud. Saxophone is a relatively new instrument where orchestral's concerned, and it was invented by one bloke who it was named after.
Yeah, so
it?
Adolf Sax invented it at the kind of end of the 1800s.
Yeah.
That's why it's not really it's not an orchestral instrument.
Yeah.
There are relative modern composers that maybe use like saxes in it.
So how did it end up being such a kind of jazz standard? Because I mean, as I understand it, jazz was very much, certainly where the trap kit is concerned, was very much end of the American Civil War, lots of kind of marching instruments lying around. And I wonder how the saxophone kind of became so predominant in that form of music.
Honestly, as a saxophone player, I'm not even too sure. I mean, I think it was almost like it's such a great instrument that it was a shame that it wasn't getting used more, because up until that point, really, it wasn't being used. And I don't know if it was just adopted, because it's always really featured in jazz, even from like the 1920s. It's always kind of been in it. And then you get into like big band. I think big band is what made it. Because you have the 5 saxes within a big band. I also think, personally, just the combination of a saxophone, a trumpet, and a trombone.
I wonder whether, because like early jazz in the sense of ragtime was really clarinet heavy. So there were woodwinds in there. And I wonder, these things always tend to stem from a practical need. Like the electric guitar came from jazz because they couldn't be heard. And I wonder whether there was that desire with reed players to have something brasher and louder, maybe.
I think it was that, and also you would probably get a lot of clarinet players switching or using the soprano sax.
Yeah.
Because you're in the same key.
Yeah.
And you're in the same range. And I think it does, I think you will project more.
Yeah.
So I think in these little clubs, it would, I think the soprano, because you have guys like Sidney Bechet.
Yeah.
Like that kind of old school soprano player. And I think, to be fair, I think soprano sax was probably the saxophone that kind of started in jazz.
Interesting.
Because of that. Certainly that's the kind of stuff that I remember hearing from like the 1920s.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's the kind of bebop in particular, which was kind of 1940s. You had, it was alto and tenor, the big guns. Not as much soprano.
Interesting.
But again, I think it's interesting as well, because also that was because really at the start of jazz, it was cornet, not trumpet.
Yeah. That
was the sound. So I think maybe you had like soprano and cornet worked really well.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's something I should look up as like how it became so ingrained in jazz.
So in the context of orchestral concert music, however you want to call it, there's one piece that sticks out, which is Mussorgsky's Picture Exhibition. And then some modern 20th century composers, so Philip Glass and Michael Nyman in this country, or down south, whichever way you want to look at it. This union. Yeah. But I can't think of, I think possibly Satie did some arrangements with saxophone. So there might have been a bit of that going around as well. Debussy possibly did some stuff.
Probably did. I can't remember who wrote it, but Romeo and Juliet, I'm sure has saxophone in it.
Prokofiev,
yeah, I'm sure. Just said that. It's like, I'm sure there's a tenor saxophone part in Romeo and Juliet.
Interesting.
To be fair, for anybody that's kind of watching, if you go away and you listen to classical saxophone versus jazz saxophone, they sound completely different. Like it's a sound that I just don't. I'm not a classical saxophone player. Yeah. I started off. Every saxophone player starts off. I'd say I was classically trained. Yeah. But I'm not a classical player. I don't have that.
The way I describe it is classical saxophone, in the limited repertoire I'm aware of, sounds like a woodwind instrument. With jazz, saxophone sounds like a brass instrument. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, there's some astonishing classical saxophone players out
there.
It's really incredible technique.
Yeah, my dad worked with John Hall a bit.
Yeah, he's a legend, and I mean, I grew up. It was his like instructional books that were big when I was learning. But I very quickly moved. Like when I started playing, my teachers were really into jazz, and suddenly you started listening to like Michael Brecker, Dave Sanborn, these guys.
Yeah.
Maybe not Brecker's solo stuff, but like the stuff with the Brecker brothers, the kind of funk orientated kind of thing, that just opened up my eyes. And I know his sound can be a bit. People either love it or hate it, but like Dave Sanborn to me was the first saxophone player that I listened to. I still remember it. It's his album Taking Off.
Yeah.
And it's the first track called Butterfat. And I remember a teacher putting it on, and I was like, "What is that?" Because it wasn't just his saxophone sound; it was also through like an envelope filter.
Yeah. Oh wow.
You know, because that was in the 70s, which like the Brecker brothers, these guys,
Eddie Harris.
Yeah, that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
They were mucking about with electronics as well.
And let's not forget a fucking fantastic and very funky funk band from these shores, Average White Band, was just saxophones, wasn't it? It was a pair. There was no trumpets or trombones. Yeah.
And even, I mean, the sound of I love I love big band music. I love playing in big bands. And I think when you hear 5 really, not just great saxophone players, but guys that have worked together a lot, play as a section, it's some of the best sound out there. Like even people kind of scoff at it now, but like Glenn Miller, like In the Mood. Yeah. In the Mood is one of the hardest pieces to play for modern saxophone players, because no one really sounds like that anymore.
Yeah.
It's a very of its time sound, but it's instantly recognisable.
Yeah.
You know, and even down to the solos. I mean, I've done tours with those kind of bands.
Yeah.
And you have to play. You're not allowed. You can't really improvise.
Yeah.
You know, you're not allowed to. You have to play the solo that was on the track.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that solo.
Yeah.
Even if you're not a big Glenn Miller fan, everybody recognises In the Mood.
And for a modern frame of reference for the bass saxophone in particular, I'd really recommend checking out a composer and performer called Colin Stetson. If you've seen the film Hereditary, that really features the bass saxophone. But just check out, I think there's a YouTube, and I'll link it in the video description down below, which is Colin Stetson, totally 100% live, 100% solo, just doing a little warm-up before a gig. It was just phenomenal. I did actually see him live once, and I don't know, he's like something from like Mad Max. He's just an absolute animal. Uses circular breathing and all of that stuff. Nuts. From what I can see, we've been doing Kalimba today, KM84 Flum Flum pair, and a lovely 414, and we're doing the Clary with is that an M49 or an M149? And a Royer. It's a ribbon and beautiful sparkly, spangly stuff. Oh no, it's an M49. Something I've just managed to get online for an absolute sneeze is these Grace Design mic pre's, super quiet. I've got a bit of an idea for the volts. What you were just playing when you were actually just banging the valves. Can you play all the notes, or is it just I wear it with pride. So why do we have this one?
We have this one because I was just started and, checking and testing the libraries. And this got my attention because it's not super clean. Okay. And it's like there's some noises, there's some, but I think it's great. And the story, I like it. It should be like, I think it was a student.
Okay.
And in the school, they bought some land, and there was this organ in I think it's a church. And so he went there and record before it was like too late because no one is taking care.
I see. So it's an old organ.
Exactly.
Student recorded it. It's not a recording studio environment.
No, I don't think so.
Sounds like my cup of tea.
Yeah.
You want to play it?
Yeah, Dad, please. Pump or something of the air. You know, like the.
I love it.